I stood there on the same side as the police with the shields, and they were throwing bricks. And I was like in an awe, like it was like, oh my God. And to see my son come across the street with a rock in his hand, I think at that point I just lost it.
While everybody is crawling over each other, trying to come up with the one real reason why Baltimore exploded in recent days, everything from bad cops to a foolish mayor, there's one element that is missing here and always seems to be missing when we have younger people go wilding and seek to become the next contestant for prison pastels. Experts and those with only common sense will take it on, and it has nothing to do with law enforcement. So let's get to work. Our first guest, nationally syndicated columnist for the Washington Post writers group, Ruben Navarrette, and we're joined by the counseling psychologist at Logan University in Chesterfield, Missouri, also past president of the Association of Black Psychiatrists, St. Louis chapter, Dr. Jemeca Falconer. I thank you both for joining us here today.
Good to be with you.
Thank you.
Doctor, let me come to you first because we're hearing an awful lot now about the hero mom, the woman in Baltimore who went after her son. But I'll tell you what, all of a sudden it's taken a day, but now we have people coming up and saying, wait a minute, a woman who goes up, beats her kid, slaps him, hits him, curses at him, shouts at him to get the F over here, that's not a hero mom. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's a hero mom in the given situation. I think it takes those type of parents to step out and say, no, you will not do what your friends are doing. So I think in this case it is a hero mom.
Ruben, what about that? Because I'll tell you, the one thing you have to give her credit for, she saw her kid about to do something stunningly stupid, and she at least took some action.
Right. This woman's incredible. Toya Graham is her name now. We know that her son's 16 years old. His name is Michael. And really what it points to is where were all the other parents? Where are all the other parents who could have done the same thing, should have done the same thing? I agree with the doctor. This woman is a hero, and I wrote a column this morning at foxnews.com that said so. She is a hero because she put her son first, she jumped in, she acted, and she said, this will not do, this is not acceptable, you do not throw rocks at police.
But then I got to give you this though, Ruben, because, and I'm going to ask you both this, here it comes from Salon.com, and here's the headline, the hideous white hypocrisy beyond the Baltimore hero mom hype, how clueless media applauds excuses police brutality. Isn't that going a little over the edge here, Ruben?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the problem, and we're in bad shape in this country, worse than we thought, because conservatives look at this story and they shoehorn it into their agenda. They say, well, this is a shame. She's a single mom. Where's the dad? She's not working. How is she living? They turn into a big social commentary to serve their conservative agenda. Liberals come in and make it about spanking, about brutality. Oh, it's nonsense. In both cases, both groups, liberals and conservatives, need to shut the hell up. The fact is, this is not their private little chew toy. This was a case of a mother doing the best things that she knew how to do for her child, and she's become a hero all over the country because she brought common sense and strength to a situation that needed both.
Dr. Falconer, now let's look at this when it comes down to parenting. I will tell you flat out that I am one of those people who always points to parents as being where a lot of this nonsense, if you will, stops and starts as a child grows up. Is it not fair to say, though, that when we look, Ruben's got a point, as do others. Where were the other mothers? Where were the fathers? Where's the family unit to try and tell these kids, don't wear a mask, don't wear gloves, don't hold a rock, don't get out there and try to be an idiot?
So I think that's a great question. Where are the other parents? And who knows where they are, at work, asleep, doing who knows what. But I think the fact that this mom came out on national TV, because she said herself she had no regard for the camera, to get her child and to make sure he goes home with her. I think it's phenomenal, and I think it's a model that other parents can look to so that they can say, I'm not afraid.
Is it possible, though, that what she did snaps back because her child will now be seen around the world? You know that his friends are going to be all over him now, and they're going to be saying, look what your mother did. They're going to make fun of him. And is it now a possibility that this kid rebels after having something like this done and becomes even worse?
Well, that is a possibility, but I think in this case it's a small possibility because I'm sure at this point now, given what has gone viral, he knows what his mom would do in response to whatever he would do next. So I doubt that he would do anything else.
Ruben, do we need to stop talking about a lot of these things? Well, not stop. That's a bad way to put it. We hear things like economic violence, moral code in society. We talk about the government, federal funding. Democrats, Republicans, do we just need to stop here for 1 second and use this as a great example of what can happen when a parent gets involved? Because the parents are not involved enough in these kids, certainly not just in the inner city, but around this country.
Exactly right, Ed. Now, not long ago, we were having a conversation about the racist video from the University of Oklahoma. And there were people there who made the case that the parents weren't responsible for the racist actions of these young white kids at the university. And I took the opposite view. Parents are always responsible for their kids. Always, always, always. And this woman, Toya Graham, proved it. She said, he reflects on me. My son reflects on me. I own this situation. I take responsibility. And boy, did she act on it. That is really what's being threatened in American society today. The fact that parents are very hands-off. They're way too lenient. They don't raise their kids. They let somebody else do it, and then they complain about it when it goes bad.
I got about 45 seconds. Dr. Falconer, to you then. How do we then push this forward? Because that's what I always believe in, getting it to the next level and getting parents to understand, especially inner city parents, if you will, who are watching this, that they've got to get involved or their kid's going to wind up in jail or dead.
I think parents should see this as a great initiative. They should want to follow her lead. I think, there's an African proverb that says it takes a village to raise a child, and it really does take a village. But that village must begin with the parents. We have to be the ones that are on the forefront about how and what direction our children should go in.
And I can only hope that in doing this interview, we can push this forward a little bit, because I know that parents are stubborn when it comes to a lot of this, but maybe just once sit back and understand you have this power. It's a beautiful thing for people to be able to understand and use when they can. Ruben Navarrette, Jemeca Falconer, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your comments. We will talk again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. The Democratic nomination looks like it will no longer be a one-horse race. Well, wait a minute. We've been saying that for a while, but actually there is somebody who says, maybe I can push Hillary Clinton. That's next, right here on The Hard Line.